Hello, everybody. My name is Jude, and today I would like to talk about why I think Chapter 5, Season 3 could go down as possibly one of the best in Fortnite history. I want to first of all thank everyone who has supported me recently, everybody who used code JudasJinx in the item shop to pick up their battle pass. I want to thank you all very, very personally here. If you haven't already, please do consider using code JudasJinx in the Fortnite item shop and subscribing to the channel. It does help me out a ton. So before we do start, I do want to preface this video with the fact that I'm recording this video on the second day of the season. Yes, I'm making this claim very, very early on, and I will explain to you why in this video. I think that this season could possibly go down as one of the best seasons of all time, if not just for this chapter. So, I'm going to start with the very first point that I have actually against the season. And I have very few negatives, but this one is a very, very large thing I feel like is holding this season back, and that's actually going to be the Battle Pass here. The Battle Pass for this season is actually really weak. We do have a couple of good skins here, but like the tier 100 skin is not that all over the top amazing in my opinion. I'm not intrigued by it by any means. The secret skin's kind of boring to me too. I mean, we're getting a Marvel season next season. Like, why couldn't it just wait a season? Yeah, the Battle Pass just doesn't really entice me much here. Now, there is some good skins. I do like the Bright Bomber remake, the Bright Raider, I believe is what it's called. I like the Machinist, and I do like the Fallout skin we did get, the T60 Power Armor, I believe. However, the rest of the Battle Pass actually holds this down like a lot. Like, it is a huge weight that the rest of the Battle Pass struggles to carry because three skins, in my opinion, do not make up for the other five kind of lacking, which really does suck because I really do want to like this battle pass, and maybe as like I get more of the skins I will find myself using them more and seeing myself like them more in general. However, as it stands right now, I'm like around tier 35 and I have the first three skins in the battle pass, and I've only used the Machinist. I've used Rust for one game and I haven't even touched the P skin. So yeah, I believe the Battle Pass is a major factor that will actually hold this season down a couple tiers in the future. However, if you put the Battle Pass aside, I believe that this season has amazing qualities that make it comparable to even some early Chapter 1 seasons. So, my very first point for this season having amazing qualities is actually going to be the gunplay. The loot pool for this season, I am very, very happy with. For shotguns, at the moment of recording, we have the hammer pump, which acts as the slow firing, aggressive, up close and personal pump shotgun that we all know and love. We have the gatekeeper shotgun, which is a lot more like the tactical shotgun in the sense that it fires very fast, but it does hit a lot harder than attack. And I really do like the gatekeeper. It is very underrated in my opinion. And yeah, I'm very happy to see it return. And we also have the combat shotgun coming back, and you can now mod it. This fits the long range style of shotgun we have here. And once again, this feels really nice in the meta right now. The combat shotgun was notoriously bad in Chapter 4. However, with the mods and the buff it did receive this season, it actually feels viable to use. We also do have a mythic combat shotgun on the map, which is fun, you know. Cerberus's Gatekeeper stayed this season, which is a fun mythic to use, as well as Oscar's Frenzy Auto Shotgun, which does add a drum shotgun to the loot pool. There's only one, and it is a mythic. Only one person will ever have it at all times, and I do feel like that actually does mix it up a little bit, and I'm actually kind of a fan of them trying this out for once, keeping an old boss and, or keeping a couple old bosses and just like throwing them in the loot pool, seeing how it works. I like that. I like whenever Fortnite tries new things. For assault rifles, we have the Warforged assault rifle, which basically stays the same from Myths and Mortals. The tactical assault rifle, which did receive a couple buffs, we had reduced bullet spread, reduced recoil, and increased damage at long distances. This makes the tactical AR a little bit better. However, I would still recommend picking up one of the other ARs personally. It just if you're going to use the tactical AR, you might as well just use a Thunderburst SMG in my opinion. The Enforcer AR was unvolted and did get buffed as well with increased damage, increased fire rate, and increased crit hit multiplier, which I feel like does actually make this weapon a lot more useful in my opinion. I have used it a lot more this season than I ever did in Chapter 5 Season 1. The Thunderburst SMG stayed, as well as the Harbinger SMG, the Huntress DMR, the Ranger Pistol, and the Hand Cannon, which did get buffed in the areas of projectile speed and damage at long distances, which is good, and the Shockwave stayed, and I love Shockwave metas, they're so fun. For the new items, we ended up getting the Nitro Fist, which was a very, very interesting item. These can be used for offensive plays and mobility, which I actually really do like. I figure people are going to find a way to counter them fairly soon. However, I feel like this will be the mobility of the season, especially in competitive, which we will talk about competitive later. Competitive is looking very good this season. The boom bolt, which is like a crossbow that shoots explosive bolts, it's kind of similar to the Wookiee crossbow we just had and kind of similar to the boom bow. However, I do like the way this gun works and feels in the game. It fits right in and definitely is taking over that sniper spot that we do not have occupied right now. However, later in the season, we are expecting to get another sniper, which is another benefit of the season. We have a ton of content that is coming later in the season that we aren't getting at launch, which is an issue that Myths and Mortals, the previous season, did have. We got the Chains of Hades like 1 or 2 weeks after the season launched. We had the Midas mini event with the floor is lava like 1 or 2 weeks after the season launched. We had the Thunderbolt and the Icarus wings all at the beginning, and there was nothing else like spread out throughout the season except for the Star Wars and Avatar events, and those really did not offer too much if you didn't care for those IPs. However, this season they are doing something very, very different. Wherever most of the items that we are getting this season aren't actually in the game yet. Like, for example, we're getting this like harpoon thing that you can use to latch onto vehicles. That's not in the game yet. We're getting this new laser gun. That's not in the game yet. We're getting the combat AR unvolted more prevalently because there is a mythical one. That's not in the game yet. We do have a couple of different new guns and stuff that we're going to be receiving midway through the season that I feel like is going to help content stay steady throughout the season. We're going to have Magneto's mythic ability as well whenever his quests come out. We did have the Nuka-Cola, which does some healing. It does 25 white health and then regenerates 75 shield over a couple seconds. And we did have Nitro, which was a game changer in my opinion. I don't know why I'm saying was. I mean, like, this is still brand new stuff. But this is a very, very interesting gameplay mechanic. Nitro completely changes the way your vehicles and you work. You can bust through buildings, you run faster. You're all around more threatening, in my opinion. Going up against a Nitro vehicle is super scary because they're just gonna full speed. They're gonna ram into your box, and you are probably going to get destroyed. And that is another thing I kind of do like about this season that last season kind of struggled with is zero build and build modes are very fun this season, which is something last season struggled with because, in my opinion, Zero Build was not very fun at all last season, considering the Chain of Hades was harder to block. It was also hard to block the Thunderbolt of Zeus. I felt like playing Build last season was highly preferable because you had an opportunity to use builds to actually cover yourself from these powerful Olympian abilities, and I feel like you don't really need to pick a certain mode this season to enjoy it more, because no matter what, you're going to get flattened by a car. I mean, this is a chaotic season, and builds aren't going to save you, and I actually do like that. I think that makes the game a little bit more enjoyable, that I can play whatever mode I want and not feel like I'm at a disadvantage. The map is another thing I do want to talk about here because the map actually did receive a buff this season as many new locations were added and very few were taken away from us. We did get the addition of 2 new POIs technically because we did lose fencing fields. So we have 2 new locations technically, and that just adds more loot to the map. This island is looking a lot better in my opinion than it did in Chapter 5 Season 1. It kind of looked awkward, but now it does look a lot more full and like the other maps we have had during previous chapters. I like how many different biomes we have as well. They don't look that out of place in my opinion, which is kind of surprising because we have the underworld, we have Olympus, we have a desert, we have a snow biome, but they all kind of do blend pretty well, which is kind of surprising, but I am all for that. I love the diversity of this map, and it does make traversing it a lot more fun and free. The next thing I want to talk about is how Fortnite vaulted all of the items people had problems with last season, that being the Thunderbolt of Zeus, and how people complained about it going through builds. Well, they nerfed it then, and they just vaulted it straight out now. They took away the Chains of Hades, which a ton of people found to be overpowered, as well as the water bending, which a ton of people found to be overpowered. And all of these items that people had massive complaints about last season are completely gone from the loot pool this season, and people are pretty happy with it from what I've seen so far on social media. Another thing that this season does have going for it is the competitive side of things looking really nice. I'm not a huge competitive player, but I do care about like FNCS and all that stuff. I am interested in competitive quite a little bit, And I know for a fact that a lot of competitive players are kind of happy. I don't know. Competitive players are always a little unhappy with the game. However, the prize pools for all regions did get buffed, I'm pretty sure, as well as we are receiving more cups. So, more cups and more money, meaning competitive got a huge buff this season, and that is nothing but a good thing. More money in the prize pool for competitive players, more people are going to want to play the game. Epic's going to see higher numbers in these tournaments, and I feel like it's going to be a win-win for both parties, the competitors, and of course, Epic. The last thing I want to talk about, for a reason I think this season is actually going to go down as one of the best, is the fact that it is a summer season. Summer seasons have notoriously always been remembered upon fondly, except for Wilds, because of how they just make us feel. We feel nostalgic about the summer during school, remember the good times we had playing these summer seasons. And yeah, there's many, many summer seasons that people consider to be the best of all time. For example, Chapter 1 Season 5 is considered to be the best by some. Chapter 2 Season 7 is my personal favorite season of all time. The summer vibes really just do help a season, especially if they nail the summer event, which we are getting Pirates of the Caribbean for our summer event, which is going to be pretty exciting in my opinion. We're going to get Flint Knocks unvaulted as well as pirate chests and cannons. So yeah, it's looking pretty good. I'm very excited to see how the season plays out. If you guys liked the video, please do consider liking the video and subscribing to my channel and using code JudasJinx in the item shop. I want to hear what you guys think. Do you think this season can live up to be one of the best? Comment down below. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.